right? You break free from the rest of the religious world and you just focus on this fine pearl. Okay, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Okay, so when you find this, find the truth, when you find this fine pearl, get rid of everything else. Invest in the fine pearl. So this fine pearl is in relation to the reign of the heaven, the kingdom. When you found it, nothing else, sell everything else, you put all your focus, attention, and energy on that. And that's what you buy. Okay, so let's now look at Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. Okay. What's special about these parables to me as well is that we actually see Yahusha putting his parables into action, into real life. He's sharing with them a parable, and then he's going to give a test. We get to see the test and the outcome. Okay, here in Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. We get to see what happens when you cling to whatever it is you cling to besides the kingdom, right? It says, and see, one came and said to him, the him is the Christ, Yahusha. Good teacher, what good shall I do to have everlasting life? Okay? So this man wants to know how I can get everlasting life. What good things can I do to receive everlasting life? And he said to him, why do you call me good? No one is good except one, Elohim. But if you wish to enter into life, guard the commands. Okay, he said, if you want life, if you want everlasting life, guard the commands. Guard the commands. This is what gets you everlasting life. Guarding the commands. Straight from the mouth of the Christ. Yeah. And then he said to him, verse 18, which, and Yahusha said, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, respect your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So he's reading the second half of the Ten Commandments, right? The young man said to him, all these I have watched over from my youth. What do I lack still? Yahusha said to him, if you wish to be perfect, go sell what you have, and give to the poor, and you shall have treasure in heaven, and come follow me. So do we see here how Yahusha is using the parable and putting it into action? Yeah? We see how his apostles have already did that, doing that, and then now we see people outside asking, how do I gain this? And he's telling them, this is what you gotta do, and follow me. Just like all the other apostles, they sold everything. They're following me. Come do the same thing. Okay? And when the young man heard the word, he went away sad because he had many possessions. So he didn't value the reign of the heavens, the reign of the kingdom. He didn't value the treasure in heaven. His earthly treasures were more valuable to him. Yeah? He went away sad because he had many possessions. And Yahusha said to his taught ones, truly, I say to you that it is hard for a rich man to enter into the reign of the heavens. He didn't say you cannot, all right? He didn't say a rich man, rich people cannot enter. He said it's hard. If you want to enter into the rain and you're a rich man, it's going to be very difficult for you. It's not impossible, but it's hard, okay? How many of us wanted the harder way or wanted the easier way?
Easier.
How many want both? Rich and enter, right? I mean, yeah. But he said it's going to be hard, okay? So again, 23, and Yahushua said to his taught ones, truly I say to you that it is hard for a rich man to enter into the reign of the heavens. And again, I say to you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle, and even that we look at very difficult to grasp. A camel going through the eye of a needle. Now that's impossible. Right? Yeah?
Yeah, it's a small gate. The
Gate.
the camels had to take off the packs on the back because they couldn't, and then they would have to crawl through.
Okay.
They would have to crawl through. So it was made so they could. It was like so. It was like that
So
on purpose, so you couldn't rush and go in.
Small gate.
Yeah.
And yes, they had to take things off the camel so the camel could fit through.
Yep.
Okay. So Yahushua is saying it is easier. Okay.
Oh, so maybe it's an analogy of us taking off stuff to go through because we have to unpack a lot of our programming that we think we have to take into the kingdom. That's all wrong. Yeah.
Good one. Good one. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that share. So it says, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the reign of Elohim. And when his taught ones heard it, they were very astonished, saying, who then is able to be saved? Looking intently, Yahushua said to them, with men this is impossible, but with Elohim all is possible. And Kepha, Peter answering, said to him, see, we have left all and followed you. What then shall we have? Okay, so his apostles taking heed to the parables that he shared earlier, right? They took action. And we see this rich young ruler stepping away and not taking action.
Okay, do you think that is like letting go of control? Because rich people are usually controlling a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that could be definitely a part of it.
And like for us to surrender to him, we got to let go of a lot of control.
Yes. Okay. What then shall we have? Verse 28. And Yahushua said to them, truly I say to you, when the son of Adam sits on the throne of his esteem, you who have followed me in the rebirth shall also sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yasharel, Israel. And everyone who has left houses or brothers or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. But many who are first shall be last, and the last first. So ultimately, who do we put first? Who comes first?
Yeah.
Following Yahushua.
Yahusha, Messiah.
Let's go back to the parables. Matthew chapter 13, verse 47. Matthew chapter 13, verse 47. Okay, another short and sweet parable. Okay. Little nuggets that our Messiah is giving about the end of the age. He says again, the reign of Elohim, or the reign of the heavens, is like a dragnet. Okay, so picture a dragnet or a throw net or a net that we use to, when we lay net. Okay, that was thrown into the sea and gathered some of every kind, which when it was filled, they drew to shore, and they sat down and gathered the good into containers, but threw the rotten away. Thus it shall be at the end of the age, the messenger shall come forth, and separate the wicked out of the midst of the righteous, and shall throw them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So what are we receiving from this parable? What is the download that you're getting? Anybody would like to share? Christian. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else, Lonnie?
Just in the end, you're gonna be on one side or the other.
Yeah.
In the end, you're going to be on one side or the other. You're going to either be protected, and you're going to enter into the reign of the kingdom, or you're going to get thrown out. Right? Nobody is escaping what? The net. Nobody is escaping the net. There we go. Okay? And Yahusha is telling us this is what it's going to be like. I'm going to gather all you guys, even the angels, are going to bring all you guys together, scoop all you guys up, angels are going to come pluck. Okay? Put the good guys in the good pile, the righteous in the righteous pile, the bad guys in the wicked pile. Ahava.
Isn't that what we're seeing on TV every single day? Seriously? Like, from, the stuff in Hollywood every day, it's just one falling out. They're exposing each other. So, but it said it in the word, they ignored it, they chose who they serve, so now it's the consequences.
And what's interesting, right, is you and I actually do this by nature every single day. How do we do this by nature every day? This parable that we were just talking about. How do we do this every day? Ahava?
Every day we have to die to self so that we remember we're supposed to be serving him, not our will. Because when we want our will, we're back in the flesh, and we're not seeing.
How do we do this dragnet parable every day?
Might
not be every day, but we do it a lot.
Well, we discern people who's following him and who's not. So we see who we want to hang out with, that we're resonating with, that want to grow, and who are blatantly not even trying, and we don't want to go back there anymore. It's like going back to Egypt. We don't want to go back.
Yeah, so
we're kind of sorting ourselves, like the ones who want to follow the world and going with the world, like Lonnie said. You can see it real clearly. The closer things get more crazy, they either give up this walk or they hang on more for this walk. So it's like they're really seeking more.
More simpler though. Read the parable, and how do we do this dragnet parable every day? By separating. Okay. When you go grocery shopping, right? You go to the produce section, right? Do you check your vegetables, your fruits? Do you check the grapes, check the blueberries, the strawberries,
yes.
Turn it over? Do you examine?
Yes.
Do you feel, bad one.
Yes.
Finally found one good box.
Yes.
Okay? Gotta check. We're always checking. Okay? Who wants to buy spoiled and rotten food?
Nobody.
No one.
Especially how expensive it is.
Exactly. So, by nature, we do this process often. You check your meat, you check your food, always checking. Oh, bad, bad, bad. Food's in the fridge too long. Check them. Oh, shucks, bad. Toss them in the, toss them in the trash. Right? So in the same way, family, we sort out food, spoiled and rotten food and good food. And how easy is it for you to toss a rotten apple or a rotten orange? How easy? Do you even think twice? Who thinks twice about throwing away rotten food?
No.
So at his coming, when this is happening, he's not even going to think twice. It's just boom. That's the parable from the Christ. It's not going to be difficult to sort us out. You're not going to be difficult to pluck up and say, here you go, or there you go. It's going to be plain. Make sense?
Makes total sense.